Right then, fam, let's talk this through because today has been absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. What the actual? I mean, seriously, Microsoft, $70 billion. That's a national debt amount of money to buy Activision Blizzard and all their little subsidiaries and all the rest of it. I'm like, how? What? Just, it's staggering. I can't get my head around it. That much money, liquid, to just go and just go, see you, we're buying you. Wow. And the implications of this deal, of this buyout, has just got me flipping out left, right and centre. And not just as a PlayStation fan, but just as a gamer. I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah, the idea that Microsoft is going out there and is basically buying everything is, as a PlayStation fan, worrisome because, that means that there is a good chance there's going to be more games that will not come to my platform. Now, admittedly, there's not that much in the way of Activision that I personally play, but there are a large number of PlayStation fans that do play a lot of Activision games. So the fact that these people will be cut out of that is not great, especially considering that most people, most normal, everyday, bog standard gamer boys and girls can only afford one system. Either they've got a PlayStation, or they've got an Xbox, or they've got a PC. They might possibly have a Switch as well, or they might only have a Switch. A lot of people don't have all the money. Unlike Bobby Kotick, who has all the money, and now he's probably going to make even more because Microsoft didn't put him in the bin like they should have done. It's like, Phil Spencer spoke out against the behaviour of Bobby Kotick, yet Bobby Kotick remains inside the management structure of Activision Blizzard, even though Microsoft have bought them, and even though Big Philly Willy has said, you pal are rubbish. It's like, how's that happening? You figure, of all the good things that could come out of this, the kicking to the curb of Kotick coulda, shoulda, definitely been one of them, but apparently not. But here's the thing, right? Microsoft having all this sway, all this power, all these IP, is that really good for gaming? I gotta wonder about that because, there's such a thing as balance in the industry. There's like incremental battle back and forth, up and down, back and forth. It's like, oh, we've created this thing, we're up. Oh, we've seen what you've created, or we created this. Oh, and on the back of this thing we created, we're doing this as well. Oh, you've done that thing as well, we'll do that. And, oh, we offer this service, and up and up and up and up it goes. And this continual change and push forward and evolution of the industry is massively important. And without that, gaming will stagnate. And if it stagnates, then that's a big, big problem. Because gaming, as given its very nature, needs to continuously evolve, develop and grow. And if it's, all owned by one company, or at least a large amount of it owned by just one company, then it can't change, develop and grow because there won't be competition. Because if you're a big company and you own everything, why would you bother ever investing in new stuff? The people are already going to buy what you've made because you make everything. So that's a negative impact. But a positive impact is that by and large it is often perceived to be the case that Microsoft generally tend to treat their staff better. So if that's true, which by all accounts it is, that's great because Lord knows the Activision staff have been treated extraordinarily poorly, which is part of the reason why I am one of those who was behind the Activision Blizzard boycott. I mean, even though I don't play that much in the way of Activision Blizzard games, I made a decision that even if they did go ahead and make something that I would like to play and buy and all the rest of it, like another Tony Hawk game, that I would not buy it. In fact, the Tony Hawk game I did have, I sold recently because I was like, no, Activision's not getting any more time on my system. They're not getting any more analytical data out of me. I'm selling their game. So I'm like, I just don't know. I'm just like, nothing makes sense anymore. Everything's topsy-turvy land. Gigantic amounts of money. And the idea that like Nintendo systems and Sony systems will no longer, or possibly no longer, have access to Activision Blizzard games, thus cutting out large sections of the player base. I mean, no competition. It's just bad for the industry. It's bad for development. I mean, it's fantastic for the share price of the two companies. I mean, Activision Blizzard shares have gone through the roof, as have Microsoft. But it's sort of like, does that really matter to the likes of you and me? I mean, it doesn't really do anything for the average gamer on the street, does it? Much like, big companies having large amounts of money doesn't do anything for the workers, because it's not like the workers do well when the companies do well. In fact, if anything, it's been proven that a lot of these large companies, they make a large amount of money and then they sack a bunch of workers just so, before the quarter ends, so then they can show that an even higher profit margin, to their investors and make even more money. It's another holy mess that I can't wrap my brain round. I mean, there are good aspects to it, but there's also a lot of bad to it. It's just too big. Unfortunately, there are things that aren't so big, but are also kind of wonderful, like the competition that's currently running on this here channel. Do remember that all you have to do is get in your design. Doesn't matter if you chisel something out of rock, mold something out of clay, draw something, take a photograph of it, or make something on your iPad or on your phone that looks really, really super smart. Tweet it to me before the 29th, was it 29th or 28th, whatever the last month of March, the last day of March is. End of March, get that design to me, enter it into the competition. Then, depending on how many entries there is, either I'll pick one or you guys will vote for one. And then that design will be available on the My Redbubble store. And the winner, I will dip into my own pocket and I will buy you the t-shirt of your design. And you can basically wear that t-shirt with pride and get into conversations with people, go, hey, cool t-shirt, bro. And you can go, yeah, I made this. You made that, aye. Well, you see, I entered this competition, blah, 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 blah. And then interesting conversations will flow forth. So, get your entrant in. Things will be cool. Anyway, so this gigantic, web of consequences, like the Indiana Jones rolling boulder of doom coming at me with unknown consequences. Some of them good, some of them bad, I mean, like, if you're like a Microsoft person, you're like going, woohoo, my system is incredibly strong and it's doing super, super well. And that's great for you guys. That's awesome. Much love to my Xbox brethren. You're definitely getting a lot of good stuff this go round. This particular generation, your system is doing wonderfully well. And to be honest, you kind of need it, because the last gen, you guys got hammered. It was not a good gen, the last gen for you, let's face it. And I think it's fair to say that Sony got a bit complacent. They saw how well they did for PlayStation 4, and I think they thought they could just do what they liked for PlayStation 5. I mean, junking all the advancements that were made on PlayStation 4, like, folders and wallpapers and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't. There's been problems. To be fair, there's been a lot of problems. I mean, like, even for me as a content creator, right? This works, this green screen, when I'm here in Share Factory. But see, when I try and stream, doesn't matter if I stream on Twitch or I stream on YouTube, the green screen behind me goes funky, and it's all this green fog and flecking. Yes, I said fleck, not the other word. Okay, so it's like Sony is far from perfect, and I'm a Sony fan. I'm a big Sony fan. I've been with PlayStation since the day one. Okay, I had the original first SKU edition of the original PlayStation. I've been here all the time. Okay, and I'll tell you this: Sony is far from perfect, but that doesn't mean in any way, shape, or form that they should not be able to play. We should not be able, as gamers, as Sony fans, to not be able to play the games. Now, yes, console exclusivity is a thing, and that's part of what makes the draw of a system. Like, hey, there's these games here that I can't play, and there's those games there that you can't play, and it's and there's that interplay, and that's part of the fun of if you're able to do it, owning two systems. That's great if you can do that, but a lot of people can't, because that's money, and money is a short supply thing, especially these days. I mean, look at our economy. Everybody, is not doing well. The rich are doing better and better and better, but the average person on the street is eking it out. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you do not go to a scalper, is because, it's hard enough to afford a PlayStation 5 as it is, without spending an extra 100 to 500 quid to get hold of it from a scalper. Don't take that direction. HUD in there, you'll get it eventually if you've got the money. But I'm just conflicted. I mean, this could be interesting things. I mean, there'll be a lot more dev money going around, and by all accounts, worker conditions will improve for the dev teams at the companies that come under Activision Blizzard. But there's also is how much can things really improve, and will Sony and Nintendo still get games to play? I mean, there's money to be made there, but then Microsoft is so rich, will it go, oh, we can afford to not sell games to Sony and Nintendo. Those systems can just go on without us. And that is, admittedly, that's capitalism. That's also just really horrible, that you just go, these gamers over here, forget about them. That's just lower than snake testicles. It really is. I mean, I know snakes don't have testicles, but you get what I'm saying. And I don't want this to come across as like Sony fanboy sour grapes, because it's no. It's like ask my boy Wiggy Gaming, he'll tell you. It's like, I don't go to that console war nonsense. I find it to be degrading to everything that is good about gaming. We didn't need it. But at the same point, what we do need, is reasoned, leveled thought. And I'm trying my best to be reasoned and leveled with this. I just think there's probably more problems with this than there is good things. Now, there is good things, yes, but I think down the road, there's going to show to be more problems with this than anything else. Maybe not for the corporate side, but for the average Joe gamer out there, I think there's going to be things that come out of this that'll no be great for the average person. Now, I really hope I'm wrong. I really honestly do. Maybe it'll all be sunshine, rainbows and unicorns. But if life has taught us anything, boys and girls, it's seldom ever is. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. But you can tell me. You can get typey down below. Let them bloke know what you think. And as you know, I always respond to you guys in the comment section. Right, I'm gonna go away and try and continue to wrap my brain around today's events. This is just way too big. If anything else comes out, I'll try and get a video out, hopefully sooner than I got today's video out. You know the drill. Hashtag support Scottish YouTubers, and of course, as always, no bother.